Hello, welcome back to the class. So let us go with the next example. The problem goes like this. A reinforced concrete column is 450 millimeter by 400 millimeter and has to carry a factored load of 1800 kilonewton. The unsupported length of the column is 2 meter. Find the area of reinforcement required. Use M20 concrete and Fe250 steel. Okay, let us go through the problem once. A reinforced concrete column is 450 millimeter by 400 millimeter. So here the dimensions of the column are given. It's a rectangular column and the dimensions are given. So, and has to carry a factored load of 1800 kilonewton. So that is the design load. The unsupported length of the column is 2 meter. Find the area of reinforcement required. Use M20 concrete and the Fe250 steel. So here, because the dimensions are given, we need to find out only the reinforcement area, nothing else. Okay. Then it says use M20 concrete and Fe250 steel. Be careful here. It is not 415 steel, instead it is 250 steel. Okay. So this is the column, cross section. One dimension is 400 millimeter and the other dimension is 450 millimeter, and this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. Okay. And the column, that is the unsupported length of the column, is 2 meter. Is 2 meter. Remember, unsupported length is different from the effective length. Okay. So what is unsupported length? Yes, I have explained in the previous class. So let us proceed. So before proceeding, until now, we have only one formula. that is PU equal to 0.4 FCK, and AC, that is the area of concrete, plus 0.67 FY ASC. So this is given under 39.3 on page 71, where FCK is the concrete, AC is the area of concrete, and 0.67 FY is the yield strength of steel, which is 250 Newton per millimeter square here, and ASC is the area of compression steel. This is what we need to find out. Okay? So, to use this formula, the code says under 39.3 we have to satisfy the condition such that minimum eccentricity should be less than 0.05 DRB, where capital D is this, small b equal to 400 millimeter. Okay. So only under this condition we can make use of this formula. Okay. Next, we need to find out what is the E minimum value, that is the minimum eccentricity. So E minimum changes whether we are taking the column bending about x axis or y axis. Okay. So once we start solving the problem, you will realize what I am saying. So what are the things given here? Column dimensions given, factored load is PU, we don't have to multiply this value by 1.5, so 1800 kilonewton. The unsupported length L equal to 2 meter. Okay. So area of reinforcement ASC, that is compression reinforcement, is a question mark because that's what we are trying to find out. Okay. So the first thing we need to find out is whether the column is a short column or a long column. To check whether the column is a long or a short one. Okay, then only we can, not only this condition, and also the column should be short, then only we can make use of this formula. Okay. So a column is short only when effective length of the column divided by the lateral dimension is less than 12. Okay, we have two different dimensions. So a column may be short if it is bending about one axis, and it may be long about the other axis. Okay, just we need to check whether the column is long or short about both axes. Is it clear to you? So when we say this, LE is the effective length of the column. So what is given in the problem is unsupported length 2 meter, and effective length depends on the end conditions. Okay. So if you open page number 94 of the code book, please open it. Page 94 of the code book. If you look here, depending on the end conditions, say for example, if I take the first one, both ends are fixed. Okay. So when both ends are fixed, what is the theoretical value of effective length? That is equal to 0.50 L, where L is the unsupported length. Okay. So in reality, recommended value we have to go for, that is recommended value of effective length equal to 0.65 L. Is it clear to you? So in this case, we don't know whether we have to assume the column ends are fixed or hinged. One end is fixed, one end and the other end is hinged, etc. So whatever we need we can take, because it is not mentioned in the problem what are the end conditions. So for my sake what I do is, I am going to assume that both the ends of the column are hinged. Okay. If you go and look at the third item, look at the figure, both ends are hinged. Then if you go to the final column, the effective length equal to 1.00 L, where L is the unsupported length. Okay, that's what I am going to assume. That is, I am going to assume that both ends are hinged. So by assuming both ends of the column as hinged, effective length LE equal to 1.0 multiplied by the unsupported length. Okay. So here 1.0 multiplied by the unsupported length is 2 meter, that is 2 meter is the effective length. Is it clear to you? Therefore, we need to check whether the column is short or long about both axes. Therefore, LE divided by one dimension, about x axis I am going to call that as LEX, okay, divided by D, that is the depth. So that is equal to LEX is effective length 2 multiplied by 1000 and D is 450. Okay, I am going to get this value equal to around 2.2, 4.44, which is less than 12. Therefore, the column is short about x axis. Similarly, LEY by B, that is equal to 2 multiplied by 1000 divided by 400, that is equal to 5, which is less than 12. Therefore, the column is short. So one condition is satisfied. That means we are one step closer to use that formula given under 39.3 on page 71. Okay. What is the other condition we need to satisfy to make use of that formula? So the other condition is eccentricity condition, which is on page 42 under 25.4. To check for minimum eccentricity, so I am going to make use of two parts. One is 25.4 page 42 and 39.3 page 71. These two parts of the code I am going to make use of. So As per 25.4 on page 42, L divided by D plus, L divided by 500 plus D divided by 30. That is this. So, where L equal to unsupported length divided by 500 plus D is the larger dimension 450 divided by 30. Okay. So, it is 4 plus 13, 19 millimeter. And also the code says this one, whatever the eccentricity, should not be less than 20 mm. So, we have to take higher of those two values as the eccentricity. Therefore, Ex minimum equal to 20 millimeter. Okay. And I am going to check whether this value is less than or equal to 0.05 D, capital D, as given here, and 0.05 D equal to 0.05 multiplied by 450, that is equal to 22.5 millimeter. Therefore, here Ex minimum is less than 0.05 D. One condition is satisfied. This is for eccentricity, minimum eccentricity Ex minimum, Ex minimum. Similarly, minimum eccentricity Ey minimum, Ey minimum. So, again I am going to make use of this formula, L by 500 plus D by 30, that is equal to L is unsupported length, that is 2 meter multiplied by 1000, that is a millimeter, 500 plus D, here it is not D, instead it is B, which is 400, that is 400 divided by 30. Okay. So, it is 18.33 millimeter, and of course, whatever eccentricity we calculate should not be less than 20 mm, and if it is less than, take 20 mm. In other words, take higher of these two values as the minimum eccentricity. So, therefore, Ey minimum we are going to consider is 20 mm. Next, by following this and 0.05 B equal to 0.05 into 400. Okay. So, it is 0.05 400, that is 20 mm. So, here Ey minimum should be less than or equal to 0.05 B. Here in this case, this is equal to this, that is here Ey minimum is equal to 0.05 B. Then we can go ahead when these two conditions are met, and also once we made sure the column was short, then we are at liberty to use the formula given under 39.3. What is that formula? Pu equal to 0.4 FCK AC plus 0.67 Fy ASC. Okay. So again I am going to explain this. So Ex minimum is less than or equal to, that's what the code says. So in this case this is less than this value, that is this value is less than this value. In this case this value is equal to this, that is also acceptable. Okay. Therefore we can use Pu equal to 0.4 FCK and AC, that is the area of compression concrete, plus 0.67 Fy and area of compression steel. Okay. So here in place of Pu I am going to substitute whatever the value given, that is 1800. I am going to convert the value into Newton, equal to 0.4 FCK is 20 because we are using M20 concrete, and AC is the area of concrete. See, if you put steel here, okay, so the area of concrete is going to be the gross area AG minus of the area of compression steel. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and write one more step. Pu equal to 0.4 FCK AG, that is the gross area of cross section of the column, minus area of compression steel, plus 0.67 Fy and ASC, A suffix SC. So now it is 1800 multiplied by 1000, 0.4 into FCK is 20. So what is the gross area? Gross area is 400 multiplied by 450. So 400 multiplied by 450 minus area of compression steel plus 0.67 into 250. Be careful, this is not 415 steel, instead we are using 250 steel, multiplied by area of compression steel. That's what we are trying to find out. Okay. So in this equation the only thing unknown is ASC. Therefore ASC equal to, so after simplification we get the value of ASC equal to 2257 millimeter square. 2257 millimeter square. Okay. So let us provide mm dia bars. Therefore, number of 20 mm dia bars equal to number of 20 mm dia bars equal to total area required divided by area of each bar equal to 7.18. Of course, we cannot provide 7.18 bars. Instead, we go ahead and provide 8 bars. Say 8 bars. So once we provided 8 bars, automatically the actual area of steel provided is going to be more than 2257. Therefore, actual area of compression steel or longitudinal steel or main steel equal to 8 multiplied by pi by 4 multiplied by 20 square. So the actual area we are going to get is 2513 millimeter square. 2513 13 millimeter square. Okay. So once we have this, so we are providing 20 mm dia bars, okay, and we are providing 8 bars. So the total area is 2513. Once we have this value, we have to check whether the reinforcement is greater than ASC minimum recommended in the code, and also whether it is less than ASC maximum recommended in the code. That is, check for ASC minimum and check for ASC maximum. So to check for ASC minimum, okay, as per code, what is the minimum area of reinforcement? That is 0.8% of the gross sectional area. So ASC minimum equal to 0.8% means divide that value by 100 of gross sectional area of the column section, that is 0.8 divided by 100. AG is 400 multiplied by 450. Okay. So it is 1800, that is 1440 millimeter square. Okay. So what is the area of steel provided? Provided ASC equal to 2513 millimeter square is greater than ASC minimum, that is equal to 1440 millimeter square. Okay. Therefore, okay. What if this value is say 1200 millimeter square? So then this value will be less than 1440. So in that case, what you have to do is proceed and provide an area of at least equal to this much. Okay. Next is to check for ASC max. To check for ASC max. So again, as per the code, ASC max equal to 6% of the gross area, that is 450 multiplied by 400. Okay. That is 14400 millimeter square. That is the maximum area of cross section of compression steel or longitudinal steel we are allowed to provide. Okay. Therefore, ASC provided ASC equal to 2513 is less than ASC maximum equal to 1440 millimeter square. Therefore, okay. So what in case this 2513 or actual compression steel we are providing exceeds AC maximum? In that case, what we do? We are going to go ahead and increase the sectional dimensions of the column. That means whatever dimensions we are, whatever the area of cross section or whatever dimensions we are giving for the column is not adequate, okay, go ahead and increase the section. So in this case we are okay. This is greater than AC minimum and the same value is less than AC maximum. Okay. So now the area of cross section of steel and number of bars we need, everything is calculated. So then what is the next step? The next step is to provide the stirrups, lateral ties. Okay? Lateral ties. So let us decide the dia of the lateral ties. So the code says minimum diameter of the lateral tie is at least 1/4 of the largest bar we are using. That is dia of the largest bar. Here we have 8 bars. Which is the largest? 20 millimeter is the largest and 20 millimeter is the smallest bar. The reason is we are using only one size, that is 20 millimeter. Okay. So 1/4 of 20 is 5 millimeter. Okay. And also the code says the diameter should be at least 6 mm. Okay, that means it should be not less than 6 mm. In other words, take higher of these two values. Therefore, let us provide 6 mm lateral ties. Okay, dia is fixed. Then what is the spacing of lateral ties? So again, spacing, simply spacing I am going to write. The code says least lateral dimension. Least lateral dimension. What is the least lateral dimension? Of course, we have two dimensions. One is this and the other is this. So lesser of those two values is 400 millimeter. Okay. Then 16 times the dia of the smallest bar, smallest longitudinal bar, that is equal to 16. What is the smallest bar we have? Again it is 20 because we are using this same diameter bars throughout. So it is 20, 320 millimeter center to center. This is 1, 2, and the code also says the spacing should not exceed 300 millimeter center to center. So this is another one. Okay. So we have these three values and the spacing should not exceed the least of these three values. So at what spacing we can give? So the maximum spacing of lateral ties is 300 millimeter center to center. So maximum spacing is the least of these three values. Okay. The spacing should not exceed 300. That's why I am saying it is a maximum spacing. If you want, you can go ahead and provide a 250 millimeter center to center. It is not a problem. Even 200 millimeter center to center, it is not a problem. The only thing is you are spending more material or you are wasting more material as engineers, which you are not supposed to do. Therefore, I am going to go with this spacing. Therefore, let us provide 6 mm dia lateral ties at 300 millimeter center to center. Okay. So show everything in a neat drawing. This is the column we have, and we are providing 8 bars of 20 millimeter diameter. Okay. So same bars. Here I am showing in the elevation. Okay. So in the elevation we are going to see only these 3 bars, and the rest of the bars are hidden behind. So lateral ties, see, one more thing is there are different ways you can provide lateral ties. You can provide lateral ties like this, only one lateral ties. Sometimes what they do is, if it is too many reinforcements or too many main reinforcement, then they go ahead and provide multiple lateral ties. So this way, one lateral tie and another lateral tie is like this. Or we can provide like this, one lateral tie like this and another lateral tie like this. Okay. Here I go ahead and provide only one lateral tie. Okay. So here I am going to provide lateral ties like this. So it is 8 bars of 20 mm dia. Okay. And lateral ties 6 mm dia, lateral ties at 300 millimeter center to center, that is, these are the lateral ties. Okay. Next, it is again 8 bars of 20 mm dia longitudinal bars. So this is the sectional plan, this is the sectional elevation. Any design should end with a drawing, that is reinforcement details drawing. Okay. This completes this problem. Hello, welcome back. So I am going to give you some problems for you to practice. Please practice it. So please practice this problem after the next session. Then you will know better how to solve these design problems. So this is one of the problems. Please write down. So design an RCC column having an unsupported length unsupported length 2.75 meter to support a load of 2000 kilonewton using M20 concrete and Fe 415 steel. So this question carried 6 marks. Okay. So here, to support a load of 2000 kilonewton, that is the service load. So to arrive at design load, you need to multiply that value of 2000 kilonewton by a load factor, and the value of that is 1.5. Okay. And again, this is from one of the examinations. Design an RC column to support an ultimate load of 1800 kilonewton. Effective length 1.85 meter. M20 concrete and Fe 415 steel. So this problem carried 10 marks. See, look at this problem. It says to support an ultimate load of 1800 kilonewton. So that is PU value given. You don't have to multiply this by any load factor. Take the value as it is. Okay. Then it is effective length LE 1.85 meter. They have not given any unsupported length. Okay, when you are checking for minimum eccentricity, what you need is unsupported length. When you are checking whether the column is short or long, what you need is effective length. So to know the unsupported length, we have to assume certain end conditions. So here what I do is I am going to assume both ends as hinged. So when you go to page number 94 of the code book, that is table 28, when both the ends are hinged, then effective length 1.85 meter equal to the unsupported length, that is 1.85 meter. Okay. So please assume that and proceed with the problem. And the next problem, design a short rectangular column subjected to an axial load of 3000 kilonewton within brackets factored. Take effective length equal to 3 meter. Use M25 concrete and Fe 415 steel. Check for minimum eccentricities in both the directions. So this problem carried 10 marks. So let us go through this problem. Design a rectangular column subjected to an axial load of 3000 kilonewton. Design a short rectangular column. So the problem is given already. It is a short rectangular column. Okay, you don't have to check for LE by D ratio here. Then rectangular column and factored load. So you don't have to multiply this value by 1.5. Whenever you find out the area of cross section of the column, you have to fix the dimensions in such a way that so one is smaller than the other. That is, it is a rectangular section. So it is not a square one. Okay. So take effective length equal to 3 meter. Yes, take that value, that is LE. Then what is the unsupported length? Again, that depends on the end conditions. So assume both ends as hinged if nothing is given. Then the effective length equal to the unsupported length. So based on that, move forward. Okay, use M25 concrete and Fe 415 steel. And also the problem further says check for minimum eccentricities in both the directions. Okay, if you check the problem just now I solved in this session, so I have checked for minimum eccentricities in both the directions. That is true only in case of rectangular. So if the column is a square column, you don't have to worry, there is only one dimension, you need to check for eccentricity once. And the next problem is a 3 meter height, column is effectively held in position at both ends and restrained against rotation at one end. Design the column to carry a factored axial load of 3000 kilonewton. Use M20 concrete. Use M20 concrete and Fe 415 steel. Sketch the reinforcement details. Sketch the reinforcement details, whether they ask or they don't ask. You show the reinforcement details. Okay? So let me go through this problem. A 3-meter height column is effectively held in position at both ends and restrained against rotation at one end. So what it means? That means if you open page number 94, that is table 28, please open it. See, please open. I hope you are on that page. So on the left side of the column, that is the first column, if you go to the second item, it says effectively held in position at both ends. That means both ends are hinged and restrained against rotation at one end. That means one of the ends is fixed. That means one end is hinged and the other end is fixed. Okay, for that, what is the recommended value of effective length? Of course, theoretical is 0.70 L. You don't worry about the theoretical value. Instead, you have to go for the recommended value. So the effective length for this column is 0.80 L, where L is the unsupported length. Okay, LE equal to 0.80 L. Is it clear to you? So if I go through the problem, a 3-meter height column, 3 meter means this is the unsupported length. Okay, that is L is effectively held in position at both ends and restrained against rotation at one end. That means one end is fixed and the other end is hinged. Design the column to carry a factored axial load of 3000 kilonewton, that is PU value is 3000 kilonewton. Use M20 concrete and Fe 415 steel. Sketch the reinforcement details. So of course this problem carried 10 marks. Okay, so for this I am going to give you a note. Note, please write down the note. I hope you can see this. Note, to find out about the effective length, refer table 28, page 94. Okay, and of course you are going to make use of the effective length to check whether the column is a short one or a long one. So use this point, you already know. is long or short. Okay, please write down this problem. Make the screen still. Okay? Then zoom it. Write down the problem. Okay, guys? Thank you.